down for us, Mina, and which will have the biggest impact on the trajectory of the season?
Ohio State, Penn State is not just potentially large, it is large, and that can be quantified. Our analytics group listed the top 10 games remaining in terms of how much they'll impact the playoff race. This came in at number 1. If Ohio State wins, they have a 73% chance of making it into the top 4. I think they will win, but I think Penn State's going to give them a fight, especially at home, especially since Ohio State doesn't have Nick Bosa.
Woody Page.
Let's give some love to Notre Dame and Stanford. I mean, really, if one of these teams, whichever team that wins, might go undefeated and be in the playoff. I think people want Notre Dame to be relevant again, and they've changed quarterbacks just like Clemson. They've gone to Book, and they probably have Bell and Candle waiting also. Give me Stanford and Notre Dame, and Notre Dame to win.
Well, I mean, it kind of works with Notre Dame and how they operate. Israel Gutierrez, how about you?
No, I'm with Mina on this one. It's Ohio State, Penn State, and I'm very much intrigued by sort of the recovery of Penn State after needing overtime to beat App State in the opener, and they've scored 63 the last 2 times they've touched the field. With that offensive line giving Trace McSorley time and then him being that dual-threat quarterback, I think at home this is Penn State's game, and I think they can continue winning against Michigan State next week and then go into that Final Four.
Glenn Yates.
I agree. I think Penn State pulls this off. Nick Bosa's out of this game, but let's not forget about Draymond Jones on that defensive line as well, who's definitely going to be a Sunday player. And also, Ohio State's got a lot of noise going around this program right now. It'll be interesting to see how they pull it together to actually play a football game in Happy Valley.
Wow, so that's 2 for Penn State, 1 for Ohio State in that matchup. Woody, did you pick that matchup? I know you were focused on Notre Dame Stanford.
Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll split. We'll move on. Baseball, large, potentially huge night in baseball. Cubs have the Cardinals. Brewers have the Tigers. Rockies, the Nats. Dodgers, Giants. Here's what the standings look like now. How they look on Sunday night will decide whether there's games on Monday or Monday and Tuesday to decide the Central West and wild card. Of course, we all want insanity. Everybody does, unless it's one of your teams. Woody, this is one of your teams. What would be best?
Yeah, as the only person on this panel that has a team in the possibilities here, I'm going for the Rockies because, I mean, my goodness, it's their 26th year. They've never won a division. The Dodgers win it all the time. And the Brewers have just come on, and I would love to see them, forgive me, pass the Cubs and get those 2 teams in there that we don't normally think of as playoff teams.
Gutierrez?
So let's see. The Cubs and Brewers played 19 times during the regular season. There was an 11-8 advantage for the Cubs, and they need to play one more. Why? Why can't that just be the tiebreak and gets them, it just sets up the standings that way? We have to play a tiebreak before a one-game playoff series before the first. It's just too much. It's unnecessary. Why are we playing 1-6?
Okay, well, let's make that the question then. If we have 19 games in the regular season to decide it, but if they end with the same record, they still play a tiebreaker. Are you all right with that, Clinton?
Of course I'm all right with that. If you ask me this question, I'm always going to say more baseball. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We get Apollonia references all over the shop. That is good for me. Listen, I think that the way you should do it is if you get that one-game playoff, it's a little easier on the team if you've got a 3-gamer the next time.
Mina Kimes.
Give me chaos. Give me the tiebreaker between the Dodgers and a Rockies team that's actually been good on the road with the most exciting pitcher in baseball in German Marquez, who should have had just enough time to pitch. I guarantee that's what Major League Baseball wants, too.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to make a ruling on tiebreaker, whether it should be an extra game or whether they should go to the head-to-heads in the regular season?
I've covered 3 tiebreakers, and they've all been down to the last moment. And 1951's Giants-Dodgers playoff was the best I've ever.
You covered the 1951. I
remember that.
No, I was alive.
Points for living. We'll move on. Buy or sell 3. Quote, I don't need preseason games to get ready, end quote. That was LeBron on Wednesday. Now, LeBron, I'm playing Sunday versus the Nuggets. Israel, where do you come down on James needing some time with his new teammates or not?
I mean, he obviously needs some time. It doesn't really matter either way. The only thing you really need to make sure of is that he doesn't get hurt, which you can't make sure of. You just have to hope that LeBron James continues being LeBron James. It's really good for the fans to get a quick look at him in that first preseason game, but I don't expect him to play much throughout the preseason.
See what?
I'm kind of bummed about this. I was hoping for a big showman element. You get 0 LeBron until he comes out with a bunch of smoke in the first game of the year as part of the LA situation. That would have been kind of fun on some level because he's been so business-like this preseason. But if you want to see him play in San Diego, fine. Go ahead. Check him out.
Times.
Not only should they watch his minutes during the preseason, watch them during the regular season, because you remember, he played the most minutes in the NBA last year. They need to preserve the king for next year when he's 35 and they're more competitive.
What do you think?
Let him play 15 minutes. Let me take another stance here. San Diego lost an NBA team. They lost their NFL franchise. They have a lost baseball team. They are showing up to fill up the place and let him at least give them a look at what the NBA is like again.
All right.
Don't cry for me, San Diego. It's a beautiful
Making
place
an argument for a future move to La Jolla. That's what that was about. Kimes and Page will be our showdown. Gutierrez. Yates. Weekend starts right now. Have a nice one. Mina. Page. Next.